So, as mentioned before, like when we had the interview with the group, there were high highs and very extremely lows. But overall, it was a great time. On the first day, we all just like bonded, even though we were like complete strangers. It's as if it was just like a puzzle put together. But yeah, it was probably like one of the best 13 days I've had in my entire life. It seemed as if it was like a month long because time flew at the same time, but then also it kind of just like went by really slowly, especially when we were tired. But yeah, these past 13 days I learned many lessons that I will use like both in my personal life and then also just like in the real world. So one is obviously L&T, leave no trace. I'll be more careful of like my trash, like because we had to carry our food scraps and like just food in general, so I'll just keep in mind, finish all of your food, do not throw away any food, because like somebody else could be like suffering, like kids in impoverished countries and stuff like that. So it just like made me realize how not necessarily ungrateful we are, but just how like we have access to food and we just like throw it away. But yeah, another lesson is, or something I learned about myself, is that I tend to be like a shy, quiet person, but then once I find like the perfect group, I just like step out of my comfort zone and it's like I just break out of my shell. And that necessarily happened during solo, which was like 4 days ago, I want to say. At the beginning I was kind of nervous because I'm like, what am I going to do with so much time in my hands? And then they also took our watches away, so we didn't have any distractions. And I'm a person who tends to like be on time on everything. Like I time myself sometimes, like I kind of plan out my day and then I say, okay, this will take me like this long, that will take me however many minutes. So since I had like the entire day just to like do like a lot of time, I'm like, what am I going to do? So I did laundry for quite some time. The other time I just like fell asleep, and then I just like began to write in my journal just like random things, but like thoughts I had. So I kind of like let go of many things, and then also I was able to process last year, COVID. It was like a year that I do not wish on anyone. And I think since last year everything was very rushed, I finally took the time to just like stop. Like everything was surrounding around me and I just like, it's as if I just froze time and then just like thought about everything that happened last year. So that was very helpful. Also just my team, they're like awesome people. We went through a lot these past 13 days, but we made it alive and we got closer. I'm pretty sure you've heard, but like one of our group mates got sick, so she had to leave the course. And although we were like devastated, I think it brought us closer together. Like we cried together, we hugged each other, and we just like, our bond grew even more. So yeah. I think for me it was my cooking skills, because although we had like each person was assigned a role, like a sous chef or a master chef, they still ended up needing like my help in the kitchen. So I would, even if I was like a scrubby or the leader of the day, I still like helped. So I think that's one thing I brought to the group. Also just kind of like telling the group, pushing the group to be like a better version of themselves, and also just like work on time management. So yeah, but definitely the cooking skills. So last year I was actually supposed to do this course, but then it got like rescheduled about 2 times and then it got canceled completely. So then I think I kind of applied late, or not necessarily late, but I decided to apply later than last year, but I still met the deadline. And I said I should just give it another try, you know, like just apply. So I did, and that's how I just like ended up here. So I just, Carla Garcia is the one who helped me with the process, but it was my choice to do it, so. I think one is definitely do your research. Like you guys have a ton of information on your website, so just scroll through your website. Also, I follow you guys on Instagram and I see that you guys post stories or like quotes and stuff, so just like kind of, yeah, just like do your research, find out more information. Maybe just like, if possible, try to, like through social media, try to find someone that has done a course and maybe ask them questions. And then, yeah, I think also just like push yourself, just try new things, take a challenge. So yeah. I think individually, like a challenge I had that I'm like proud of that I like overcame is sometimes I did not have the motivation to keep on going. But even though I did not have the motivation, I did not say like side comments to bring the group down. I just kept it to myself, and I just like had a smile on my face, just like pretended like everything was fine. And then at the end of the day, like we made it. So I think that's a challenge I kind of overcame. But for the like group wise, I think it would be when we made the decision to go off trail. We had our maps, watches, but we were only able to ask our instructors 3 questions because we were on final. So that was definitely a challenge because we kept going like up domes, then down, then up, then down, and then people were getting frustrated because it's like, what are we doing? Like, is it a roller coaster? Like, what is it? So that's a group challenge we overcame because at the end of the day, we just got together, we looked at the map. A few of us decided to go scouting to see if it was doable and safe for us to do. So I think that was a challenge we overcame. And then also just like today, having to wake up at 4 a.m. and then hiking there. And then once we got there, we had like 15 minutes of break and then we ran. So that was like both physically challenging, but then also like mentally draining at the same time. So.